Well, Zoo Knoxville has so many animals to check out, all in the safety of their own habitat. But did you know the zoo is so good that other animals are still trying to get their way inside the gates? On this Wild Inside, we learn how the zoo is turning snakes we find in our own backyard into science. Welcome back to Wild Inside. I'm here with Mr. Phil Kalkla. Phil, thank you for joining us again.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so this is pretty unique. I guess this is truly the kind of story. This isn't about animals that are in an exhibit or anything like that. This is about truly the wild animals that are out here on zoo property.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we live in kind of an urban oasis here at Zoo Knoxville, so we've got wild animals that exist on zoo grounds as well. You know, we've got all kinds of bird species, we've got all kinds of reptiles and amphibians, and gray rat snakes are one of them.
All right, so what are you guys doing to actually, you're not trying to get rid of these things, you're actually trying to follow them.
Yeah, well, what I kind of are doing with our education department right now is we've taken 4 gray rat snakes, which are the big non-venomous snakes that are one of the most common ones that you see around, and we're putting these radio transmitters in them. And we're not doing it, our veterinarians are. It's a surgical implantation of a radio transmitter that it's going to last about a year. And we're taking a receiver and tracking these snakes around the zoo. They go through the surgery, we put them back where we found them, and we're using this opportunity to collect data on the movements of these snakes, maybe the diets, their breeding behaviors, their nesting behaviors. I don't know that people have really looked closely at one of the most common snakes in the urban environment that's right here in our backyards, and it's an opportunity to let our zoo campers get involved, our guests in some cases will get involved, and learn some real science. I mean, we do real science at the zoo, and this is a way to really kind of lay it in the laps of people that might be interested in pursuing some of that.
All right, so how many have you given with the radio transmitters right now?
So we're only doing 4 with the radio transmitters. That's 2.2. That's 2 males and 2 females. And we've already done 2 already, and we're waiting on the next 2 to be found. And there's some criteria of those individuals we have to meet. They have to be a full-size gray rat snake, which they can be 6 feet long, in order to implant a transmitter that doesn't impact their day-to-day life. Obviously, you're not going to put a transmitter this big. Completely implanted inside by our veterinarians at UT College of Veterinary Medicine. We have partnered with them for decades on all our surgeries and medical procedures. So they're doing that and have experience doing that at other places.
But with all the snakes, you're not necessarily tracking them all, but chipping them, you said?
Correct. So any snake that we find on zoo grounds, even outside of the gray rat snake species, we're putting a passive integrated transmitter in, which is a pit tag, which is the same thing you have in your dogs and cats that you get from the vet. It gives them an identity.
Have you been able to follow any of the 2 snakes you've tagged so far, and what's kind of the hope with what this could bring?
Yeah, we're about 3 weeks in, and we have followed the 2 that we have transpondered. And the hope right now, it's a blank canvas. We just want to see what they do. We want to see where they go, what their behaviors are. A huge part of this is hoping that our guests get really excited about it too.
I've seen you personally walk around with a snake in your hands out here, so I was going to say what I would do is just be like, oh God, the snake is by my office. We've got it on the chart here.
But trying to get in your window.
Exactly. But you'd go grab it and go,
of course.
Go inspect it.
That's what you do.
Well, Phil, thank you so much.
All right.
That's why you're where you belong, and I'm where I belong.
Exactly.
That's how
I'm glad to be here, and I know you are too.
Phil, thank you. Thanks for joining us on Wild Inside. We'll see you next time.